This is a rivalry that has earned its nickname, Bedlam. In 1988, Mike Gundy was a quarterback at Oklahoma State, and he and Barry Sanders felt the highs and the ultimate low.
Gundy has got Parker. Oh, he dropped it!
In 2004, we met Adrian Peterson and another edge-of-your-seat finish.
All the time from 49 yards. Missed it. My goodness.
In 2010, Landry Jones gave another nail-biter to OU.
Jones to throw. Got it. Puts it away for the Sooners. Oh, my, what a play.
Today, it's Bedlam 2012. And welcome to a showdown Saturday. We're set for Bedlam, and so are the Sooners. And welcome to one of the great scenes in college football here in Norman, Oklahoma. Bob Wischusen, Danny Cannell, Maria Taylor joins us in just a moment. It's a showdown Saturday. It is rivalry weekend, maybe the best weekend in college football, and a weekend that you experienced as a player. How about even for the seniors that get a chance to play in this game for the last time? What's going on in their minds and stomachs right now?
It's a special day for the seniors and the entire teams. It's one of those games where all week long you've got this extra energy, excitement, maybe even a little hatred for the other team, but you've got to keep those emotions in check when the kickoff comes.
The job for Landry Jones will be to keep those emotions in check, too. His senior day and his last chance to play Oklahoma State.
Yeah, Landry Jones, a much maligned career here, up and down. But, you know, the standard has been set so high here at Oklahoma. He's, you know, filling in for a Heisman Trophy winner in Sam Bradford. And the bar has been set. Now, he's done out there and done an exceptional job. He only needs 170 yards to become the all-time passing leader in the Big 12. But what better way to go out than with a win in Bedlam?
The amazing thing for the Cowboys is that there hasn't been an offensive production drop-off really at all in spite of their coaching or their quarterback carousel.
Well, Clint Shelf, he gets the nod today. Started off the season at third on the depth chart. Finds himself today in a tough position, trying to do something only 5 Oklahoma State quarterbacks have done in the last 50 years, and that's win here in the road in Norman.
Let's go down to the field right now, and Maria Taylor.
Coach, you have 3 different players, quarterbacks with game experience. You're going with Clint Shelf today. Why do you think he gives you the best opportunity to win?
Well, he's the most experienced, and he's played very well in the last few games, and he's earned the right to be our starting quarterback.
And you have experience in this rivalry as a player and a coach. You said last year was a huge win for your program. What could a win here in Norman for the first time since 2001 mean for your team?
Well, every game's important to our team, but to win here would be really huge for our team. They've worked hard. I'd like to see them to be able to enjoy a victory.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
So it will be OU with the football first. Bob Stoops, not a bad home record in the 14 years he has been the head coach here in Norman. This is a group that is 80-5 here at Owen Field under Bob Stoops. He is 10-3 in the Bedlam games, by the way, as last season Oklahoma State won for the first time in 9 years, breaking an 8-game losing streak to Oklahoma.
Well, Oklahoma has dominated this series for so long, and for Oklahoma State to come out with a statement game like that last year definitely made it that much more interesting.
We are underway in Bedlam, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line as Quinn Sharp sends it through the back of the end zone. Senior Day festivities held a big hand for Landry Jones, who only needs 170 yards passing today to pass Graham Harrell for #1 in the history of the Big 12 in passing yards.
He's had such an impressive career statistically, putting up those numbers. But like we talked about at the Open, that standard has been set so high, you get judged on not only Big 12 championships, but national championships.
Jones will put it up on first down. To the sideline, he's already 1 for 1. He's got Justin Brown very close to an OU first down, maybe a half-yard shot.
Here you go, Oklahoma going at their up-tempo pace, trying to put pressure on Oklahoma State defensively.
And off to Damian Williams. He has a first down, just shy of the 40-yard line. Sean Lewis makes the stop for the Pokes. Oklahoma, number 4 in the Big 12 in total offense, 11th in the country. Justin Brown, the Penn State transfer, working again. Very close to another first down. Let's take a look at our impact players, brought to you by Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry for OU.
Well, they got Damian Williams, the second leading rusher in the Big 12, on the ground, and then Kenny Stills on the outside. An admirable job filling in where Brian Boyles left off.
Right up the gut. Hello. Trey Miller has a first down. And this tempo, it really is amazing. That's 3 first downs. And we have yet to now officially play a minute of football. And there are some NFL teams that would love to be able to run the 2-minute as fast as Oklahoma comes out and runs it on their opening possession.
And what a luxury to have a fourth-year starter running that system. Knows it like the back of his hand. Can check out at the line of scrimmage without having to look over to the sideline and keep that tempo at such a quick pace.
Slant by Jones, caught by Sterling Shepard. That's good for a first down. The true freshman gets inside the 20. And we've got an injury for Oklahoma State. So the Cowboys already with their strong safety, Shamil Gary, slow to get up as we take a look at Danny Cannell's keys for the Sooners.
Well, we see the tempo they're coming out right now, and that is all out fast coming at you. But I think they should mix it up a little bit, try to keep Oklahoma State off guard. And then defensively, they need to confuse Clint Shelf. He's making his first start in this type of situation. Mix up those coverages and try to get some pressure on him and force him into making some first-year starter mistakes.
Oklahoma in the red zone for the 53rd time this season. Brennan Clay for about 3.5 to 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Nigel Nicholas made the stop. 73% in red zone touchdown percentage this year for Oklahoma. That's pretty good. And that's a lot of red zone chances. And by the way, they're second in a 2-horse race in this game in terms of number of red zone opportunities.
Now they bring in Blake Bell at the quarterback position. They keep a package for him in these types of situations to keep defenses off guard and to bring a boost to the running game.
The Belldozer at 254 pounds. They hand it wide.
You know, as much as we like to talk about, or at least I like to talk about the passing game and the ball being thrown in the air, really the difference in this game could be who establishes the run game better.
Roy Finch only picked up about a yard, so here's a chance for Oklahoma State to get a stop on 3rd down. 3rd and about 5.5, close to 6. 10th play of the opening drive of the game. And Landry Jones back in at quarterback on 3rd down. Jones on 3rd down, looks end zone. Just missing Justin Brown. Red zone stops, I would think, Danny, is as good as a defensive stop can get for both of these teams. You hold the opposition to a field goal, that's pretty good.
Oh, they'll come at a premium today. Here you see this throw to Justin Brown, just a little bit overthrown, would have been a spectacular one-handed grab. And Landry Jones, who was so hot down the field, that's really the place you have to miss that throw, though. You want to miss it a little bit long rather than underneath.
So Mike Honeycutt, 11 of 13 so far this season. Trying to score the game's first points. Does not do it. He missed it wide right. So Oklahoma comes away empty as we are underway in Bedlam. Back in Norman, and a terrific scene on a college football Saturday. A showdown Saturday here between Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Oklahoma's first offensive drive, a 10-play drive that gets into the red zone and comes away with no points, a missed 32-yard field goal. So now Clint Shelf, his first career road start. And he hands to Joseph Randall. Randall nowhere to go. Tripped up behind the line, he lost 1.5 yards. Gabe Lynn made the stop for OU. How about, Danny, your first ever road start, and it comes in the Bedlam game?
Well, Clint Shelf is going to have his hands full today. He's going to have to keep those emotions in check. try to get the ball, spread it around to all the weapons he's got on the outside.
Quarterback draw. That time it's planned, and the C's park for Shelf. Clint Shelf inside the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Look at these linebackers. They get caught up in the wash, a couple nice blocks up front, and then the Red Sea parts, and Clint Shelf just takes it right up the middle of that Oklahoma defense. And this is a defense that has struggled against the run, last week in particular against West Virginia.
38-yard gain for Shelf. Draw play. Randall popped inside the 15 at about the 13-yard line as we take a look at the OSU Impact Players, brought to you by Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry.
Joseph Randall leads the Big 12 in rushing, so he's a critical part of the ground game for the Cowboys. And then Josh Stewart on the outside is that deep threat for Clint Shelf.
Stewart in the slot left, as Oklahoma State with twin receivers to either side. Shelf wants to go up the seam to Stewart. Can't. Scrambles instead. Shelf at the 5. He's down to the 2-yard line. First and goal for the Cowboys inside the 5.
Here comes, as Shelf goes off the field, looks like they're going to go back with J.W. Walsh. And the coaches told us they would go with this when they got down in the short yardage goal line type situation. They would have a package specifically designed for J.W. Walsh.
Randall again. Cut back at the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Oklahoma State. That's the 11th rushing touchdown this season for Joseph Randall, and the junior gets Oklahoma State on the board first.
You see number 60, Evan Epstein, the center, pulls around, leads the way for Joseph Randall. Great second effort by Randall to get that ball across the end zone.
Sharp with the point after, and it's 7-0. Oklahoma State. They kept it on the ground the whole way. A 55-yard touchdown drive for the Cowboys. You're watching the Dr. Pepper Road to the Championships, where our score is 7-0. Oklahoma State over Oklahoma. That's not a bad look as we put a camera
cool
up there
right
on
there.
Sooner Schooner.
Make sure you take that turn nice and wide. Don't want to cut it too close, right? It's the best view in the house right there.
Boomer and Sooner are the two ponies that pull the Sooner Schooner. As college football atmospheres go, this one is hard to beat. Bedlam here in Norman, but it's the Cowboys that have the early 7-0 lead as Oklahoma's about to get the football back. Roy Finch, Brennan Clay back deep to receive the kick if they get a chance. Quinn Sharp, though, with a second touchback. Three and out the last time the Sooners had the football. Landry Jones throws a strike, hits Justin Brown. Justin Brown for a gain of about 13 out to the 38-yard line. And talking to Bob Stoops this week and the coaches for Oklahoma about Justin Brown, just a great story. I mean, transfers from Penn State amid everything that went on at Penn State. What an impact he's made here. Play action. Jones in trouble off his back foot, and it's intercepted. Picked off. A lot of open room for Lindell Johnson down the sideline. And he's out of bounds at the 9-yard line. The rush got to Landry Jones. And Lindell Johnson gets the interception.
Here's a look. Landry Jones gets in trouble. You see 27 right there on your screen. He frees up Lindell Johnson. He just starts to watch Landry Jones' eyes. Landry was getting pressure, had to throw it somewhere. And Lindell Johnson, the 6'3", 210-pound linebacker, Coach Gundy singled him out in our call and said, hey, we are better with him on the field. He's a special player. And he shows you why right there.
So it's Oklahoma State first and goal. Shelf fires to about the 5-yard line. Josh Stewart makes a move, stays on his feet, takes a hit, and gets to the 3-yard line before he's brought down. Second down and goal coming up.
So here's a look at the end of this play. Look at that hit right there. That's a rivalry game hit. Give that little bit of extra oomph at the point of contact for both guys. Josh Stewart put his nose down, was trying to get to the end zone.
Randall leaps, end zone, touchdown Cowboys. And Joseph Randall already with a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
Well, when you're playing a rivalry game and you're Oklahoma State, you come into Norman, the #1 strategy is to take the crowd out of the game, and that's exactly what Oklahoma State has done. Here's a look. Joseph Randall coming right at you, picks up a nice block by Josh Stewart, and then just dives for that goal line for his second rushing touchdown.
And Danny, what does this do for Clint Shelf as well? Your first ever road start is in the Bedlam game, and he's got a 2-touchdown lead.
Hey, I wanted to see how Clint Shelf came out of the gates, and he's got some help from Joseph Randall. 14-0, the Cowboys are up.
Landry Jones a moment ago throws his 9th interception of the season, and that turns into a 1st and goal chance that Oklahoma State converts, and it's a 2-touchdown lead for the Cowboys. Papa Susan, Danny Cannell, Maria Taylor watching Quinn Sharp send it all the way to the back wall of Owen Fields. 4-man rush, well protected, floats it to the sideline, in stride, first down and more. Jalen Saunders deep into Oklahoma State territory, finally out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Oh, what a fantastic read by Landry Jones. A couple underneath routes with a corner route behind it. The DBs were up jamming the underneath routes, which opened up the opportunity to go down the field with the football, and Jones with a perfectly thrown ball. That's what you see out of Landry Jones. I mean, he's been around, he's faced some adverse situations, and that doesn't faze him one bit. That was a big 3rd down throw.
33-yard hookup, 1st and 10. Play action for Jones again. Wide open, it's Shepard. In the red zone. A gain of 16 more for OU.
Here comes Landry and company getting up to the line of scrimmage, trying to keep that pressure on Oklahoma State defensively.
Handoff to Clay, and he picks up about 3. It'll be 2nd down and a long 6, close to 7, just outside the 15-yard line for Oklahoma. Calvin Barnett, tough man to move around, made the stop.
And Calvin Barnett, 6'2", 299 pounds. Another player that Coach Gundy singled out as being an impact player for their defense, clogging up that middle for some of these run games.
First trip into the red zone today for Oklahoma resulted in a 32-yard missed field goal. Play. It'll be 3rd down again. 3rd down and 4 coming up from the 13.
Notice this time, this first drive of the game, remember they brought in Blake Bell for a little red zone package. I'm more of a fan of leaving your quarterback out there. I know Sooner Nation loves to see Blake Bell, the Belldozer, come in the game, but it's so tough as a quarterback to come off the field, sit on the sideline, and watch your team out there. You want to be involved in every play.
This is 3rd down and 4.5 for OU, trying to keep the drive alive. Cowboys show blitz, here they come. Landry Jones tries to beat it over the middle, short of the first down to Kenny Stills.
Well, I think it's going to come down to the spot. It's a question of where the officials are going to put that ball down.
They'll bring a blitz. Landry Jones steps up in the pocket. He's got man-for-man coverage. Tipped it incomplete. Kenny Stills tried to tip a high throw to himself and couldn't hold on. It looked like he had a step on Justin Gilbert, but that throw seemed to float a bit.
Landry Jones, wish he could have had this one back, was flushed a little bit from the pocket. You see Stills running a little juke route on the outside, breaks hard to the inside. And man, he had him open, just got away from him a little bit. Landry Jones within that pocket had to move so quickly, and his feet just weren't set underneath him. That's why I think that pass went a little bit high.
That shove by Justin Gilbert avoided a touchdown because Kenny Stills had that ball tipped.
He was going to reel that one in.
He was going to pull that one down. So now 0 for 1 on the day for Honeycutt, but this time he's able to convert from only 25 yards out. So that puts Oklahoma on the board. But 2 trips to the red zone for OU, and they come away in those 2 trips with only a field goal.
I'll tell you another team who can't be pleased with where they're ranked is Oklahoma. They've got 2 losses to Kansas State and Notre Dame, and yet there are 4 2-loss teams in front of them. And I don't get it. I think Oklahoma deserves to be ranked higher than that.
But you made a good point about the 2 losses to teams that one is now currently ranked number 1, and up until 2 weeks ago, your other loss was to the other team that had been, for a fair amount of time, ranked number 1. Justin Gilbert, short kickoff. That's tripped up at the 31-yard line. On the belly option, it's kept by Chelf, and he picks up a yard. David King was there to make the stop for Oklahoma, and that brings us to the end of the first quarter. It has been bedlam here in Norman, but all Cowboys so far. Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, Owen Field, home of the Sooners, but so far it has been a dominant performance by Mike Gundy's Cowboys as Oklahoma State has the lead 14-3, Danny, after 1 quarter of play.
Well, for me, it's been Oklahoma's inability to stop Oklahoma State in the ground, and then their red zone struggles offensively.
Here comes a 5-man rush. An uncovered blitzer misses Chelf, and he runs for a first down. That has to drive Mike Stoops crazy. Chelf on a play-action fake. Tries to avoid the rush. This time he can't get away. Aaron Colvin, who Bob Stoops said might become the best corner he's ever had here at Oklahoma. And that's saying something. Comes on a blitz and gets the sack.
Well, Oklahoma's defense needs to get a little bit more aggressive. That time, Mike Stoops dialed up the corner blitz. Their defensive coordinator's tired of sitting back and watching Clint Chelf have his way with his defense. And hey, we're going to have to start mixing things up. And that was one of the keys of the game for me defensively for Oklahoma.
2nd and 14. Chelf with a screen pass to Randall. Makes the first man miss. Stays in bounds. Another missed tackle in the open field for Oklahoma. Costs them big time.
How many times have you heard me say this season, Bob, that a running back's job or a ball carrier's job is to make that first guy miss? And that's exactly what Randall did on that one. On the screen pass, he was in open field. Tony Jefferson had him sized up. He made him miss and got an extra 10, 12 yards.
Chelf looking end zone, incomplete. He wanted Josh Stewart. Sets up 2nd down and 10.
Josh Stewart that time out of the slot, ran a little out and up. But pretty good coverage there by Oklahoma defensively, running stride for stride.
Draw play. Jeremy Smith spins for about 3. Julian Wilson wasn't fooled. So now here's a chance for OU to get the stop deep in their own end on 3rd down and 8 from the 25. 3rd and 9 actually from the 25.
This is where the chess match between coordinators starts to play out. What do you do for Oklahoma? Do you bring pressure? Nope.
Chelf hit as the pocket started to collapse. Joseph Randall, the intended receiver, but that time good pressure. A shove from the outside from Stacy McGee, and that put a little bit of heat in the face of Clint Chelf.
That's the best case situation. You only have to rush 4 so you can drop 7 into coverage, and yet you disrupt the quarterback's vision, you disrupt his timing by getting one of those big defensive linemen right in his lap.
So now Quinn Sharp, who's been named an All-American as a kicker and a punter in his career at Oklahoma State, from 42 yards out. And he smoothly knocks it inside the left upright. And it's a 14-point lead for Oklahoma State again. And the wind is whipping here in Norman. Thanksgiving time in the Midwest, and obviously you're going to get some breezes as the breeze is blowing hard into the face now of Quinn Sharp. And he will just knuckleball one. Was that a surprise onside kick that he hit too hard? Blake Bell, I think, was the player for Oklahoma that got his arms around the football.
It's great field position.
At their own 43-yard line. Landry Jones goes to work, finds Kenny Stills. First down, a gain of 12. Still a first down, though, at the 22-yard line. Bullet thrown by Landry Jones for a gain of 6. Justin Brown makes another catch.
So now as Oklahoma gets in the red zone, to this point today, they've had 11 plays in the red zone and only 12 yards to show for it. So we talked about their struggles. They want to see here if they can finish off a drive for once and get a touchdown instead of having to settle for a field goal.
Well, they came into today 73% red zone touchdown percentage. So 0 for 2 today. That is very un-Oklahoma-like. Second down and 4. Inside the 15 to the 14-yard line goes Damian Williams. Sean Lewis made the tackle. That brings up another third down and short.
Remember we talked about the tempos, the pace with Oklahoma plays. That we talked about mixing it up. I feel like Oklahoma plays better when they go at that fast pace. You know, now when they kind of slow down, they lull, they look over to the sideline. I just feel like they lose a little bit of an edge, and it allows Oklahoma State defensively to get set up, to mix up coverages. Well, that's what they do. They mix it up a lot.
And on third down and 1, you saw Blake Bell still standing next to Bob Stoops. Landry Jones on third and short. Play action fake. Flips it to a wide open Trey Millard. He's in the end zone for the touchdown. What a terrific play call.
Boy, what a great play call. You got a run formation. Watch him, Millard, fake the block and then pop out in the flat. Landry Jones in the backfield sells that run. Number 11, Sean Lewis, caught in a bind. Landry Jones flips it out for the easy touchdown pass.
4th touchdown reception of the season for Trey Millard. And an 8-play touchdown drive for OU. And the lead is now 7. Midway through the second quarter. They call this game Bedlam for a reason. Terrific atmosphere here in Norman. Millard's touchdown catch makes it a 7-point game as Oklahoma State's about to get the football back. Now OSU has scored on 3 straight possessions. They began with a 3-and-out, but their last 3 possessions got them 17 points. Helped out by the turnover, of course. And this kick sails into the end zone. So now Clint Chelf has to deal with the crowd here in Norman. They are on their feet as they know their team's right back in the game. Play action. Chelf up the seam. He's got to hook up a big hit. And that might draw a flag, does it not? Tony Jefferson came over, and boy, he laid it to Austin Hayes, but Hayes makes a terrific catch, takes the contact and holds on.
How about the true freshman there in traffic, knew he was going to take it for the 27-yard gain.
Jeremy Smith up the middle for about 3.
But I tell you, I'm pretty impressed with Clint Chelf, the composure which he showed in this first half, playing in this huge environment for him. You know, his first big start on the road comes in Norman in their biggest rivalry of the year.
Play action for Chelf. To the sideline has an underneath connection to the 25-yard line for a gain of 3 more. Blake Webb makes the catch. Well, Clint Chelf got the first significant playing time of his career against Kansas State. Wes Lunt was knocked out of that game. J.W. Walsh also had been injured previously after he started beginning in week 4 against Texas. And Chelf became the 3rd different quarterback to start this year in the first 9 games for Oklahoma State when he took on West Virginia. And he looks like a veteran out there. Oh, that ball's tipped. Was it intercepted? It is. Aaron Colvin comes up with the pick.
Well, we were just raving about Clint Shelf. How well he's been playing. That was his first mistake right there. A ball was thrown just a little bit behind his intended receiver. If you're going to throw out there, you've got to miss on the outside. Josh Stewart does his best to try to get it, but Aaron Colvin breaks on it. And the turnover for Oklahoma.
You're hanging that one on Clint Shelf, huh?
I am. I really felt like if you're throwing that ball, you've got to put it on the outside, give your receiver a chance to move it up the field. And anytime those receivers have to slow down and adjust their body, it just makes it that much tougher on them.
Quarterbacks, tell you, it's one big club. So after the takeaway, Landry Jones back to work. Across the 37-yard line goes Jalen Saunders, and Landry Jones took a big hit just as he got rid of the football, he's down.
He is struggling to get up, and he took an absolute shellacking after he let go of this ball. I don't think he was aware that number 37, Alex Elkins, was coming off the edge. And boy, those hurt. You don't see him coming from that blind side.
And it looks as if he's shaking it off. And this was a completely unaccounted for blitzer in Elkins.
Yeah, that looked like a kind of helmet right in the backside of those ribs where there's a little exposed part underneath the pads, but it's good to see Landry Jones walk off the field.
And the trainers right now are not even looking at Landry Jones.
He'll be back in.
So it's Blake Bell in to at least run one play. They'll give him a chance to put it up, and he does. Swings it out to Justin Brown. And Brown pulled down with a face mask, it looked like, as a flag comes out after he picks up 12 yards and a first down. Kevin Peterson in coverage on Justin Brown. Did he get him by the face mask?
There is no foul for face mask. The grab was on the jersey. First down.
Still no penalties. How about Landry Jones, though? Started off 4 for 4. Here's one look at the end of this play. See if there was a face mask, but it might have been the offensive stiff arm right there.
That's a good call. That was the officials getting together. The nearest official didn't throw the flag. An official about 15 yards or so up the field threw the flag. Another unaccounted for blitzer. Landry Jones with a swing pass that Brennan Clay can't hold on to. Sean Lewis was coming, as was Shamil Gary.
That's exactly what Oklahoma State did. Defensive coordinator Bill Young dialed up a blitz. They've been trying to get to him. Alex Elkins had the big shot on him, but right after he let go of the ball, that time a quick screen pass. Landry Jones got rid of the ball. He's so tough to get sacks on because he knows where to get rid of the ball, and he gets it out so fast.
Second down and 10. Play clock winding down. Landry Jones trying to get set 5 to get the playoff. 4-man rush this time. And then a miscommunication. Looked like Justin Brown stopped the slant and just turned around. And Landry Jones threw it inside as if it looked like Justin Brown was going to continue.
A lot of times on the outside, you'll have those receivers run routes according to whether it's zone or man. If it's man, they'll continue on their path and keep running. If it's zone, they'll slow down and stop. And that time, just a miscommunication between quarterback and receiver.
That's third down and 10. Oklahoma continuing to try and get the Cowboys to tip their hand. Now the look over in the reset. Here comes the blitz. Landry Jones slides in the pocket, and he's got a hookup. There's Sterling Shepard with a first down catch. It's first and goal OU.
Boy, beautiful blitz pickup by Oklahoma. Their offensive line, the backfield. Number 24 stays in to help his offensive lineman, searches around. Landry feels that pocket, steps up into it, delivers a nice pass to Sterling Shepard. An offensive line that has struggled at times this season. A lot of guys have had to shuffle around up front. They lost 2 starters in August.
Jones, end zone, on the slant, it's a touchdown. Jalen Saunders. And we are a point after away from a 17 all-time.
There's a look outside, a double in cut. Both guys running post. Landry Jones takes Jalen Saunders on the first one, and just like that, zips it by those linebackers. Oklahoma's right back in this game.
Saunders is a weapon that Oklahoma was able to add halfway through the year. A Fresno State transfer that was only approved in terms of NCAA eligibility before the Red River game against Texas. But these last 6 games have proven to be pivotal for Jalen Saunders, exploding on the scene here at Norman. Second touchdown catch. 17-17 tie as Oklahoma State's about to take over again. All right, Reese, thanks very much. Clint Shelf going up top on first down. Jump ball tipped away, intended for Isaiah Anderson. And my thanks, by the way, to Reese for really leaning into
did you notice
update.
that?
He really did. It was as if he knew who was in our booth. As Danny Cannell. Reese, if you're still listening, Danny Cannell just wincing as Reese leans it at Florida State, just getting killed by Florida here in the first half.
I'm going to have to shut down my Twitter account if they do get the heat.
Second down and 10. Joseph Randall. A 2-yard gain.
But I tell you what,
are you sensing that Sooner defense starting to feed a little bit off the crowd?
They definitely are. They're catching the momentum of the game. Oklahoma scored 14 unanswered points. Oklahoma State all of a sudden here with a critical third down just to stay in this ball game. It's one of those games you're going to have to score every time.
Third down and 8. 5-man rush. Clint Shelf. Bullets went up the seam. What a one-handed catch. Are you kidding me? Did Josh Stewart just make a highlight catch with an injury behind the play?
Watch this coverage, almost perfect. Sticks one hand out, reels it in. It doesn't get much better than that right there. Well, you talk about rivalry games that have fantastic plays. Josh Stewart right there, that one will be remembered. What a great catch. And a lot of times in man-to-man coverage, guys are running. Even though they look covered, sometimes you make that throw and let your receiver make a play because the DB doesn't know where the ball is.
Shelf on the check down, living to fight another day as he threw it at the feet of Josh Stewart.
Oklahoma defensively has definitely tightened things up. They've been mixing up coverages a little bit more. They've been running with guys stride for stride in the secondary, and Clint Shelf is not able to set his feet very many times in the pocket.
A backwards pass, so Randall throws it back to Shelf.
A lot of blockers.
And he's got blockers out in front. Shelf down the sideline. Hurdles over his own guys and steps out of bounds at the 15-yard line. A little razzle-dazzle from the Cowboys.
Boy, the double pass. Keep an eye on Shelf. After he throws the ball, watch him just sag back, plays it off. Hey, I'm not doing anything. And then there's the wall of offensive linemen that sneak out with him. He's got the troops out in front. Couple nice moves towards the end. What a great play call by Todd Monken.
Randall, a little cutback at the 10, at the 5. And it's first and goal Pokes at the 4. Tony Jefferson saved the touchdown. And Oklahoma State really wants to go hurry up. Shelf wants them set before Oklahoma can get set defensively. Randall into the end zone for the touchdown. Did Clint Shelf engineer a drive right there?
How about the 3rd and 8 throw to Josh Stewart, the catch by Josh Stewart, then trick play. Boy, that is how you answer. Here's a look at the touchdown run by Joseph Randall. Oklahoma was having trouble getting lined up. Guys are a little bit up with their pad level. And Oklahoma State walks in for their 3rd rushing touchdown of the day.
All by Randall. It's a touchdown lead for Oklahoma State again. Bob Wischusen, Danny Cannell, Maria Taylor back here in Norman, and the Shelf Choo Choo not only has the train on the tracks, but it is steaming down the tracks as Clint Shelf's teammates kind of stood on the internet with some fans, and they have picked up on it in the locker room. And they will chant choo-choo to Clint Shelf. That's his nickname now, as he became the third starting quarterback for Oklahoma State in their first 9 games when he started the game against West Virginia. As Wes Lunt got hurt, J.W. Walsh got hurt, finally Shelf took over. And has he ever kept the train on the tracks? This is a team that is #1 in the Big 12 and #3 in the country in scoring, despite being on their 3rd starting quarterback of the season. Line drive kick. And that will roll through the back of the end zone as Sharp kept it under the wind. Blitz coming. Landry Jones beats him. Kenny Stills. First down, and a world of time for Oklahoma. 1:18 to go before halftime, and they still have 2 timeouts. Justin Gilbert, by the way, back on the field for Oklahoma State defensively.
With the advantage for Oklahoma running the up-tempo offense, it's no big deal when you're in the 2-minute drill.
Landry Jones, again it's Jalen Saunders. Another first down.
Boy, what a great quarterback battle we've got going on. We've got the 4th-year starter in Landry Jones, the all-time leader in the Big 12, going against the quarterback making his first start in this rivalry game.
Another first down hookup. This time it's Justin Brown.
Well, that was a big-time throw. Landry Jones showing off his arm strength, making a long cross-the-field throw on a line. You know, Landry Jones caught so much heat. You got to remember, he could be starting for the Miami Dolphins right now had he chosen to come out last year. Let's get rid of this one quick with some pressure coming.
Crowd getting antsy, but still 38 seconds and 2 timeouts. Jones, another long throw. It's Kenny Stills. And he'll get some extra yards and get out of bounds. The 16, actually they'll mark him out at the 15-yard line. Gilbert there to bump out Stills.
Good job of awareness by Kenny Stills at the end of that play, taking that ball out of bounds. And now you're in the red zone. Now might be time to take a shot at the end zone. Go for that touchdown.
Jones almost intercepted it on the deflection. Caught for the touchdown by Kenny Stills. Justin Gilbert looked like he might have had a pick 6. If he takes that ball the other way, who knows how far he goes.
How about this route by Kenny Stills? We just talked about him being tired. Shows a little shake right there to the outside. Gilbert tries to break on it. Doesn't get it. And there's the focus and concentration that he lacked on the last one. Kept it there and reeled it in for the touchdown.
11th touchdown reception of the season for Kenny Stills. And we're tied again. That ball went right through the hands of Justin Gilbert. And if he picks that ball off, I'm not sure anybody catches him.
You go from 0 to 0 just like that.
Let's go down to Maria.
Coach, offensively, you were able to move the ball downfield, struggled a little bit in the red zone at times. What do you hope to take advantage of offensively after the half?
Well, just do what we're doing. We've had one major turnover. Outside of that, I think the guys are playing great on offense.
And Oklahoma State has opened up the playbook, found a little bit of balance. Defensively, how can you disrupt them?
Well, defensively, they made a big play, dive and catch. It had a nice trick play, so we just got to come up with some 3rd down stops.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, Maria, thanks very much. Tied at 24. Bedlam here in Norman, Oklahoma. We go back to the studio in Reese. Welcome back to Showdown Saturday, the Bedlam game here in Norman. And we are tied at 24, set for the start of the 3rd quarter between Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. 2 quarterbacks that came into today with radically different resumes, let's say, in terms of experience. And Clint Shelf more than held his own with Landry Jones in the first half.
Oh, without question. They're sparring, they're trading blows back and forth. Landry Jones, we expected greatness out of him to go out on senior day and have an impressive performance. But Clint Shelf, on just his 3rd start ever here in Bedlam, in Norman, on the road, has looked so poised and played with so much composure. It's really been impressive. Both these quarterbacks made great decisions with the football the entire first half. Can they continue that throughout the second?
That's Danny Cadell. I'm Bob Wischusen. Maria Taylor down on the fields. And this game has been everything that we could have hoped it would be. It's Bedlam. And we're set for the start of the 3rd quarter. Oklahoma, of course, not out of the Big 12 race yet. That bears repeating. As Honeycutt puts it deep enough in the end zone to force the touchback as we check in with Maria.
Yeah, guys, I asked Coach Gundy what he thought the difference in this game was going to be coming out of the half, and he says that defensively they have to do a better job defending the passing game. So they're not getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback by blitzing. That means they have to do a better job in coverage and zone. He also said that he could not give up any more big plays. He felt like his team is allowing Landry Jones to have his way and pick apart the defense, and that's what the game's going to come down to for Oklahoma State.
Interesting, the strategy of how you attack Landry Jones defensively. Clint Shelf on first down. Right up the middle of the field, and it doesn't get much easier. Josh Stewart ahead of the pack. Touchdown! One play, 75 yards.
Boy, how about the play call for Oklahoma State coming right out of the gate? Watch these safeties. They kind of lull to sleep. Here comes the crossing route. But the safeties, they're just kind of lazy. They're saying, hey, it's probably going to be a run. They suck up. Clint Shelf pops it over the top, and then it's off to the races. And just like that, Oklahoma State is up 7 again.
It's amazing. Doesn't matter who plays quarterback for the Cowboys. They've gone through 3 quarterbacks this season, a rotating group because of injuries. Clint Shelf becomes number 3 in that rotation, and he's playing like a veteran here in the Bedlam game in his first ever road start.
Josh Stewart saying, give me the ball, I'm open. Hey, I'll give it to him all day. He makes plays like that.
A lightning fast start to the second half for Oklahoma State. It's Clint Shelf, another touchdown pass, finding a wide open Josh Stewart for a 75-yard score, and back on top by a touchdown go the Cowboys.
Well, we asked Coach Stoops what he thought about last week's game versus West Virginia. He wasn't thrilled with his defensive performance then. Can't be happy now either.
The wind cheater again on the kickoff, and Roy Finch with a little cutback at the 35. Finch to midfield before he's brought down. Well, the squib kick with the wind in his face, again tried by Sharp, but it results in a big return for OU. Landry Jones dumps one off underneath. Trey Millard hurdles him there and has a first down. It's not usually the move you see a fullback make. Some athleticism there from Trey Millard, who already has a touchdown catch.
Trey Millard's a nice weapon to come out of the backfield off play action pass. Here it is, just a flip out by Landry Jones. He goes for the hurdle late. Got to be careful when you get up in the air.
Back to work, and a handoff right up the middle to Millard. Another first down, a gain of 12.
And I know at Florida State, we ran an up-tempo offense, and you wanted those officials. You see the official now waiting over the ball, looking for the signal to give them the all clear, but you want it to go as fast as possible.
That's certainly what they're doing now. Damian Williams with a cutback. He's heading south instead of north, and loses 2. Larry Stevens was there to make the stop for Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma scored their last 4 possessions of the half. They're going to need to score in this 5th possession in a row to match Oklahoma State.
Brennan Clay now in the game at running back next to Jones. 2nd down and 12. Landry Jones flips the screen. Brennan Clay breaks a tackle, can't break another, and only picks up a yard. Well done by that defensive front for Oklahoma State. Nigel Nicholas came over and got the tackle. So now it's 3rd down and 11.
The scenario for Oklahoma State. 3rd and 11, you're probably perfectly content giving up a field goal. You just don't want to give them the first down conversion. Showing they're only rushing 3, dropping 8 in the coverage. Try to do just that, keep everybody in front of them and make a tackle.
Only the 3-man rush. So Landry Jones has time, forced to try the check down. And Brennan Clay on the short hop can't come up with it. So not only will Oklahoma have to settle for a field goal, but it'll be a sizable one at that. And Michael Honeycutt, who, as I said, is kicking with the wind at his back, but this is at least a 45-yard attempt. So Honeycutt will try what would be a season long if he makes it. Wind aided from 45 yards out. That looks pretty good. 3 more for Oklahoma. But the Cowboys still on top here in the Bedlam rivalry game in Norman. That last drive, though, short-circuited. And another touchback. Chelf broken up. Aaron Colvin broke quickly on that out route. Got a hand in and knocked it away.
Aaron Colvin with a great break on the football. That time almost undercut it. What could have been a pick six.
Aaron Colvin came into today with 10 passes broken up on the season to lead Oklahoma and number 2 overall in the Big 12. He's had a terrific junior year. 2nd down and 10. Chelf right at the first down marker with another strike. Blake Webb makes the reception, and that's good for a first down.
How about the cannon from Clint Chelf there?
Chelf rolling out, throwing underneath to Isaiah Anderson. I think Isaiah Anderson was his check down. And he still picks up yardage for a first down inside the 25, down to the 23. It looked off of that play action fake. He wanted to take a shot and thought better of it.
That's a built-in play action to yourself. I mean, Chelf looked like he was going to run that ball in a quarterback sweep and then pulled up and threw it down the field.
Randall breaks a tackle, gets to the 20-yard line, a gain of about 5 more. They'll mark him down actually at the 21 or so, 2nd down and 6.
There's defensive coordinator for Oklahoma, Mike Stoops, trying to do everything he can to throw Oklahoma State off of their rhythm. You know, when you face these up-tempo offenses, that's what you try to do. Such a challenge.
Jeremy Smith met at the line and thrown back. 3rd down and 6 coming up.
You want to disguise your coverages and try to throw blitzes out there, but when a team is coming out and they're up at the line of scrimmage waiting for that ball to be snapped, there's not a whole lot of time to communicate out in the field.
Jordan Phillips got that last tackle for OU. So 11th play of the drive and the biggest play so far. Just outside the red zone, 3rd down and 6. Play action. Chelf over the middle, throws it behind his intended receiver, and it is still caught for a first down. What a terrific adjustment by Josh Stewart.
Boy, Oklahoma brought the house. 3 linebackers came on a blitz. Chelf knew he had to get rid of it. Watch Chelf stare down this blitz, set his feet, knows he's going to take a lick, and that's a big completion.
Randall on 3rd and goal, up the middle at the goal line. Is he stopped? No, he's in for the touchdown. The 4th rushing touchdown of the day for Joseph Randall.
What an outstanding job by the offensive line up front. They're going to get up on the linebacker, number 20, Frank Shannon, get a nice block, and then Joseph Randall extending for the end zone. What a great play call, though, by Todd Monken to catch Oklahoma off guards. They're thinking pass, you slip one underneath.
So Oklahoma now in a 2-score hole, as we'll step aside for just a moment. Mike Gundy's team has made 4 trips into the red zone, and they have come away with 4 touchdowns. And that is why they have a 38-27 lead. Last year, the win over Bob Stoops' Sooners, according to Mike Gundy, was the most important win in the history of Oklahoma State's program, because they finally won in the modern history of OSU football their first conference championship. Landry Jones, well protected, buys a little bit of time, and that frees up Jalen Saunders. Another first down with a late flag out in plus territory, and the Oklahoma fans love to see the laundry. Might tack some yards on.
Personal foul. Horse collar tackle on the defense, number 8. 15-yard penalty. First down.
So Daytwan Lowe adds a personal foul onto the end of the big run.
Yep, right here in the middle of your screen, you can see it as he chases after him. You cannot make that type of tackle. Got to let those jerseys go. Could be such a dangerous position.
So now Oklahoma inside the 35-yard line of Oklahoma State.
Well, if I'm a defensive coordinator in Big 12, I would just take a lot of risks. Say, hey, these guys are probably going to score anyway. Let's try to force the issue.
Play action for Landry Jones. Slant right, tipped and incomplete. Nigel Nicholas, it looked like, got a hand up and knocked that one down.
That's another thing you can do. If you can't get to the quarterback and hit him, pressure him, you can bat those balls down. Especially if you're getting worn out as a defender, a defensive lineman. If you're getting tired, get those mitts up, bat those balls down.
Blitz picked up. Landry Jones, long throw to the outside right at the first down marker. Let's see where they spot the football. Kenny Stills made the reception, and that might be good enough for a first down. It is.
Well, you saw it, Chu, the beautiful blitz pickup of the offensive line in the backfield, giving Landry Jones time to set his feet. And again, across the field, the ball's on a line. So tough to defend. I mean, you have to defend 4 receivers from sideline to sideline. And then that opens up the middle of the field.
That ball tipped up in the air, and it falls incomplete out of bounds. Again intended on the quick hitter for Justin Brown. Good job by Broderick Brown. Anticipating.
Yeah, a lot of these throws where the DBs are getting in there, they're breaking on it quickly. If you've got to feel like Oklahoma could be setting up a double move and take advantage of that secondary that's getting a lot more aggressive lately.
Second down at 10 at the 13. Handoff this time to Clay. And he gets pounded after a gain of only 1.5 yards. So now it's third down and long. James Castleman made the stop.
James Castleman, the big tackle, 6'2", 296. Nice job of penetrating that offensive line, getting in the backfield. It's been an area of the field where Oklahoma today struggled a little bit.
Let's see what decision Landry Jones makes on third down and 10 here. Again, a 3-man rush. Jones, back corner of the end zone, way over the head of Sterling Shepard. And incomplete. So that's another red zone stop for Oklahoma's defense.
And I think people might look at that and say, well, Landry Jones misfired. I think he intentionally threw that ball away. Trying to hit the corner route. There was a safety. Larry Stevens was over the top. And I think Landry Jones said, hey, I'm not going to try to force this ball in there. I'm just going to throw it away and get a field goal.
So the Sooners have to settle for 3. Now they're down a couple of scores. This will make it, if Honeycutt can convert, a 1-score game again, but another stop for Oklahoma State. And they'll get the ball back with at least a touchdown lead. As from 30 yards away, Honeycutt's right down the middle. But it's still an 8-point lead for Oklahoma State. Our game is a long way from over as Landry Jones and Oklahoma come up with only 3 on that last drive. And at some point, they're going to have to get a defensive stop or a takeaway as Oklahoma State's about to get the football back. Returnable kick. Gilbert from inside the 10. Puts the brakes on the 25 and gets swamped under there. The ball pops out, but Oklahoma State jumped on top. Unless they rule his forward progress had been stopped at the 25. There's that quick release out to the edge. And Stewart picks up about 3.
Now, I've definitely seen Oklahoma State mix the rush with the pass more effectively than the Sooners have today. They're almost double the rushing yardage. And really, Joseph Randall, the featured back for Oklahoma State, has had an exceptional afternoon.
Second down and 8. Blitz comes off the edge. Shelf doesn't see it. Aaron Colvin came untouched, and Shelf didn't react in time and takes the sack.
Shelf was sitting a long time in the pocket. Watch the corner come right off the edge. Aaron Colvin delivers a blow there. Shelf got lucky there. That ball was up in the air. It could have been stripped from the blind side. And now in a situation, 3rd and 18, this is when you have to be real careful with the football or as a play caller.
So the first sack for either team makes it 3rd and 18 when we start the 4th quarter. 15 minutes left in Bedlam here in Norman. Oklahoma State heading to the 4th quarter. It's an 8-point lead for Oklahoma State. Bob Wischusen, Danny Cannell, Maria Taylor here. We just saw the first sack of the game to end the 3rd quarter. Amazing how often these teams throw the football that sometimes these blitzes can't get there.
They get rid of the ball fast, but I think for these defensive coordinators, they're going to have to start taking some more risks, especially for Mike Stoops, to try to force the issue, create turnovers, get the ball back in their hands of their offense. The problem when you do that, you put your secondary, you put each one of those defensive backs on an island. They're man-to-man coverage, and we've seen some of the offensive threats out there. They are tough to bring down, and these schemes are built to get the ball out quickly and to create big plays.
3rd and 18 to start the 4th. Shelf wants a first down hookup and can't make it happen at midfield. Mike Anderson was the intended receiver. DeMontre Hurst knocked it down.
How about the confidence that Todd Monken has in Clint Shelf? You see the pass breakup at the end of the play. Pretty good defense there, but for Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma State, on a 3rd and 18, the whole world thinks you're going to play something conservative. Moving that ball down the field, trying to get first.
Quinn Sharp with a beautiful punt. Spirals it down to the 19. Saunders gets loose. Jalen Saunders with blockers in front. He might go. Touchdown. Return for a touchdown by Jalen Saunders.
Well, rivalry games are about huge plays, and they don't get much bigger than this by Jalen Saunders. Couple jukes up front. Then he gets a nice block by number 2, laying out a lineman. He's got number 24 leading the way for him, and then takes it the rest of the way by himself. And this crowd, which was a little bit quiet, all of a sudden has woken up, and now Oklahoma is going to go for 2 and try to tie this game up.
OU seemed to have some confusion as to who they wanted on the field. The play clock's winding down. It's down to 10. Now Oklahoma State substitutes. Play clock down to 5 for the 2-point conversion. And Landry Jones gets the play off. Slants one over the middle, and it's easily done. Justin Brown gets the 2-point conversion. Early 4th quarter, and Bedlam is all tied up. Has this been any fun?
Well, after converting the 2-point conversion, Landry Jones, the only person he wanted to talk to was Jalen Saunders, and the 2 words he had for him were "thank you, man." That's all he had to say. Excited that he got this crowd back into the game, and ultimately the Oklahoma Sooners back in this game, guys.
This kick returnable from about the 2, Jeremy Smith.
Clint Shelf needs to find his rhythm again. He's one of his last 6.
They start with Randall on the ground on this drive, and he blasts right up the middle for about 5 yards. You know, we talked about Oklahoma and how impressive they've been with their only losses coming against teams that are or were number 1. Randall again. He's got plenty of room this time. To the 50-yard line where he breaks a tackle and finally out of bounds at the OU 41.
Well, I tell you, this Oklahoma defense caught a lot of heat for its rush defense last week against West Virginia, the last few weeks of the season. And again, Oklahoma State has been able to expose that weakness.
There's the quick screen. Josh Stewart. He's got another first down. I was going to say quickly before is, let's keep in mind Oklahoma State, they're 6-1 in their last 7. Their only loss to Kansas State, who of course was #1. So they've been red hot. Hand off to Randall, right up the gut, hurdles a man. That's another Oklahoma State first down inside the 20-yard line.
They are just gashing them on this drive, 10, 12 yards a pop. Now Oklahoma trying to substitute out some players.
Let's see if the officials stop. And that might have been the officials letting the umpire know that a substitution
They're getting the spot
was made. So it's 1st and 10 at the 19. Now it's Jeremy Smith, finds a cutback lane. He's at the 15, at the 10, reaching for the pylon. Powers his way. Is he in? They'll mark him down at the 1-yard line where it's 1st and goal.
Jeremy Smith, nice little bounce to the outside. Here's Oklahoma State getting lined up quick. Trying to catch Oklahoma standing up a little bit.
High snap, Walsh pulls it down. And unable to get to the goal line is Jeremy Smith.
I'll tell you, J.W. Walsh might have saved a disaster there by catching that snap. The snap was rifled back to him from Evan Epstein, and he just stuck one hand up there and grabbed it pretty nonchalant. But
now it's 2nd and goal at the 2. A full 2 yards to go. Walsh will keep it himself. Gets to the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown, Cowboys.
well, that's why they brought J.W. Walsh into the game, was for that run threat, for his ability to get those yards, those hard-fought yards on the ground. And that's exactly what he did right there.
In spite of the fact that Oklahoma State has the 6th best passing attack in the nation, that is their 5th rushing touchdown of the day. And the extra point tacked on by Quinn Sharp. Oklahoma has never led. Oklahoma State gets the lead back. Jeremy Smith just about got into the end zone. He was ruled to have been down at the 1, and from 2nd and goal at the 2, J.W. Walsh able to bowl his way in to give the Cowboys the lead back. Welcome back to Norman. Bedlam has been all we could have hoped for and more. And how about the weapons, Stanley Cannell, for Oklahoma State today and the work they've done?
It's been a 3-headed monster for Oklahoma State. Chelf, of course, making just his 3rd start, his 1st start on the road, and Joseph Randall with 4 touchdowns on the ground, and then Josh Stewart has been the threat through the air.
And Clint Chelf pulled for J.W. Walsh in the short yardage situation a moment ago. And Randall with 4 touchdown runs. J.W. Walsh gets the 5th of the day for Oklahoma State. So now Oklahoma down by a score again, about to get the football back. Again underneath and a drop.
And it is so hard to do. That's what's impressive. You know, sustaining those long drives with the underneath pass game, because a play like that, you see a Kenny Stills drop, or you know, your offensive line has to protect. It's challenging to move that ball down the field with the passing game.
Also makes you eat up some clock, and Oklahoma with only 2 timeouts left. You wonder, as this drive progresses, how they're going to have to call plays, how they'll deal with 3rd and even 4th down if they face it. Landry Jones underneath. A gain of 7 or so.
Boy, Oklahoma State defensively very much in a prevent sort of mode. They're just fine with letting Oklahoma take these underneath passes. They just don't want to give up that big play. We talked to Mike Gundy earlier in the week, and he had the utmost respect for this wide receiving core of Oklahoma.
Justin Brown only picked up about 6 yards, so now it's 3rd down and 8. Three-man rush on 3rd down. Landry Jones steps into that throw, and he finds Jalen Saunders for a 1st down. What a huge completion and a gain of 10.
Well, they ran a 2-deep man underneath coverage. And that's when you've got to get your wide receiver to win for you. That's exactly what Jalen Saunders did. Ran a nice little out route. Landry Jones put it on the money.
Here comes the blitz. It's picked up. Man-for-man coverage, but Kenny Stills lost his footing. It'll be 2nd down and 10. We have had 1,000 yards of total offense in this game between these two teams, which is what you'd expect. They average between them about 1,050 yards combined per game. But they've been a little harder to come by here in the 4th quarter. The defenses have gotten some stops. Screen thrown out on the edge. Saunders gets a block, hit from behind. He's got a first down. Zach Craig made the tackle, but what a day Jalen Saunders has had. And now it looks like he is going to tap out and come over to the sideline. Get replaced by the true freshman Sterling Shepard.
How about Oklahoma's passing attack? Landry Jones just had his 65th pass attempt. That's a career high for Jones.
Under 4 minutes to go.
Well, now the clock has definitely started to become an issue.
Trap handoff to Clay. And Brian Clay gets waffled after a gain of 5. Shamil Gary made the stop. And you're right, the sense of urgency doesn't seem to be there between snaps for Oklahoma, as if they're kind of almost committing to how deep into the play clock they're taking this, that they might not have a real good chance if they don't convert on this drive.
All right. And I think they're taking the approach of, hey, we're going to score and get this thing to overtime.
Landry Jones still looking over to the sideline, and the play clock winding down.
Still got to feel they can take a shot.
A bullet pass, low throw, sliding to make the catch, and it looks like he's got it. Justin Brown at the 35-yard line of the Cowboys.
Well, the numbers just keep piling up for Oklahoma offensively. But again, this has been the spot of the game where Oklahoma State defensively has kind of tightened things down.
Much quicker snap here. Coming across the middle. Brian Clay. He's got another first down. A gain of 11 to the 24-yard line. 2:50 to go. Clay. 4 yards on first down.
I tell you, Landry Jones just has been patient all afternoon, not trying to force those deep balls, taking what the defense gives to you, and that's what you're supposed to do as a quarterback in this type of system. You go through your progressions. If the deep one's not there, you take the underneath routes.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go. Oklahoma State brings a blitz. Landry Jones, again an underneath throw. Close to the first down is Justin Brown. Let's see where they mark him down. It looks like he's going to be about a yard shy. It'll be 3rd down and less than 1.
For those safeties, they get so wide. If there's a shot to be taken, I really feel like it could be over the middle of the field if they leave that vulnerable spot open. But you've got to credit Oklahoma State. They've mixed it up between leaving that middle of the field open and by keeping a safety back there at times as well. 3rd down and 1. Huge play here. Obviously 4-down territory now for OU. Play up the middle. He's got the first down. 1:22 remaining. A touchdown ties it for Oklahoma. Has Bedlam lived up to our expectations? Or what? That and then some. 42nd first down of the game for Oklahoma. Now that clock definitely going to be an issue here. And Oklahoma still has not taken a shot to the end zone. They're going to have to sooner or later.
1st and 10 at the 13. Again, OSU shows blitz. They rush 5 to the outside. Millard makes the catch. He stays in bounds, so the clock continues to roll. As Miller picks up about a yard, and that might force Oklahoma to spend a timeout.
And that's where Millard's got to be kind of aware of the situation. Just take it out of bounds. Stop that clock.
He turned upfield, got hit, was ruled to have his forward progress stopped in bounds, so that keeps the clock rolling. Now, Oklahoma's down to 1 timeout left 47 seconds. This really changes how you might call plays here, I would think, wouldn't it?
Definitely, without question.
Or for Oklahoma, pardon me. And you can see the record-setting day that Landry Jones has had, but faced with 2nd down and 9. 47 seconds to go. There's the slant. Justin Brown. That should be a 1st down, and that'll stop the clock. Check that. They will say, is he down before he got to the line to gain? That'll keep the clock rolling.
Well, that's true. I mean, this is killing Oklahoma. They should be asking for a measurement or something to try to stop that clock.
It looked at first as if he got there, but they mark him down at the 4. Now we're down to 23 seconds to go. Landry
Still
Jones.
not a whole lot of urgency for Oklahoma.
They need to get the snap off. Jones, end zone, low throw. Touchdown! The true freshman Sterling Shepard. Now they're saying it's incomplete.
The back judge came in, said he had a better angle. 2 different calls on the play by the officials. One had touchdown, one signaled incomplete.
The official on the far side of the field absolutely signaled touchdown.
Incomplete pass.
Here's a look, Sterling. Shepard goes down. There's the ball out. See the back judge there, came in, saw the ball hit the ground. Now the pass break up there, a lot of contact too before that. And red zone issues continue for Oklahoma now with Blake Bell in the game.
Blake Bell in the game on 4th down and 1. He takes the snap. Gets to about the 2, at the 1. End zone, touchdown, Oklahoma. The Belldozer does it again. The point after is good.
And how about Blake Bell, the Belldozer? Bob, you know I've been hard on them, pulling him out of the game, but this is why you have him for these types of situations. 4th and 1 to go. Blake Bell gets stopped in the backfield. Right there's a guy on his legs, hurdles him, and then he gets met at the 1 or 2 yard line and just runs over number 19, Broderick Brown for Oklahoma State. Boy, it must be nice to be 6'6", 254 pounds, put your nose down and find that goal line.
The squib kick. And we are headed to overtime in the Bedlam rivalry game between Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. We will step aside for 30 seconds and come right back with bonus football. So overtime will decide it between Oklahoma State and Oklahoma for the first time ever. And how about Clint Shelf?
Oh.
Talk about this stage, Danny.
But you know what? He had an exceptional 3 quarters. The 4th quarter slowed down a little bit. He had a hot hand early.
Play action on 1st down. Shelf to the outside to about the 16-yard line.
Biggest key for Clint Shelf is just to stay within himself, keep throwing through his progressions, treat it like you have been all game.
2nd and 1 after the Anderson catch. Randall. And now they're back in the red zone. And you made a great point. This game now basically comes down to red zone offensive execution.
And if you would compare it to the rest of the game, Oklahoma State is 5 for 5 with 5 touchdowns in their red zone possessions. Oklahoma on 8 possessions has 4 touchdowns, 2 field goals, a missed field goal, and a fumble. So Oklahoma State 100% on the afternoon in the red zone.
Chelf, high throw to the outside, incomplete. Through the hands of Josh Stewart. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 13.
That was a little reminiscent of the interception that was thrown earlier in the game, almost identical. Clint Chelf threw a pass to Josh Stewart that was batted up and picked off by Oklahoma. Those throws to the left for a right-handed quarterback. Sometimes you got to make sure you get your shoulders facing that target. Clint Chelf struggled there, but now that every play is crunch time, got to be perfect.
Screen to the outside to Stewart. And he's inside the 10 to the 9-yard line, where it will be 3rd down and a long 6. Javon Harris, Julian Wilson came up to combine on the tackle. First possession of the first overtime. Bob Shoes and Danny Cannell, Maria Taylor here in Norman. 3rd down. Chelf at the goal line, tipped around, but it's incomplete. Intended for Blake Jackson.
Boy, that ball was in the air for a long time. Here's a look at the very end of the play. Blake Jackson in some traffic. Ball thrown a little bit behind him. And Clint Chelf, for the first time, just looked a little indecisive on where he wanted to go with that ball. Was holding it quite a long time. Oklahoma State, for the first time this afternoon, when they've gotten the ball in this situation, they'll have to settle for the field goal.
So it's Quinn Sharp from 26 yards out to try and score first. Play clock winding down. They get the snap off, and Sharp puts it right down the middle. Still in all, though, that's the first time that we have seen Oklahoma get the red zone stop on defense.
Right, it just shows you the magnitude of the situation. Things change. Guys start playing a little differently, start squeezing the ball a little bit tighter. Those receivers got to look to pass in, but, you know, it's where great players step up. A lot of guys like that situation.
And now you, a former quarterback, flip it around. Now you're Landry Jones. It's a senior, your last home game on senior day, your last opportunity in the Bedlam rivalry game. You have at times had a love-hate relationship with your fan base, and now you have a chance to beat Oklahoma State in overtime and close out your home career. Well, you can't ask for a better situation.
You gotta love this opportunity. And don't forget, the Big 12 is still wide open if Kansas State does happen to stumble against Texas.
Breaking a tackle is Miller, and he's inside the 20. It's a good run by Trey Miller. A gain of 7.
Great second effort by Trey Miller, able to keep his balance and grab those extra few yards. Landry Jones' last 2 games is over 1,000 yards, 1,054. He had 554 last week, 500 yards today.
This time, it's Brennan Clay. He busts free. Clay at the 5. Touchdown! And Bedlam's over! All the heat on Landry Jones. How about if you have a run game?
Wow, Brennan Clay absolutely runs over a couple Oklahoma State defenders. Missed tackle there, then just runs over number 8, Lowe. Breaks one more tackle. There's another safety trying to go around the legs, and Brennan Clay, what a great individual effort. Rivalry games are all about big moments. Doesn't get much bigger than that in overtime for Oklahoma.
What a finish. Daytwan Lowe couldn't bring down Brennan Clay. Bedlam ends in overtime. Oklahoma over Oklahoma State. So long from Norman. Let's go to Joe Tessitore, the battle for the Palmetto State. Joe?